Hello, everyone. We are going to move on to 6.2 and 6.3. This is kind of combined into one lesson here about multiplying polynomials. So this is going to be a little bit of a longer notes page, so prepare yourself for that. But you can kind of maybe break it up into two parts if you're doing it a little bit ahead of time. So we did adding and subtracting in 6.1, which was basically adding like terms or combining like terms. So this is going to be multiplying, but it's not going to be difficult. So we're going to use a little bit of a kind of a trick to help you remember how to do this, and something you can use as we move forward as well. Okay, so finding the product means we are actually going to multiply these. We're going to start, as always, easy, and then we're going to get a little bit harder as we move forward. Okay, so if I have our first one out here on the outside, right, I'm going to simplify by distributing all three of these. Now, this goes back to our last unit on exponents, because if I'm multiplying, I'm actually adding exponents. Remember, we've already done that part. We've talked about it in the past. We did a whole unit on that. So I would multiply coefficients. So this would be like a 1. So negative 4 times 1 is still negative 4. I've got x, and I've got 3 plus 2, which gives me x to the 5th. Then I'm going to distribute to the middle. Negative 4 times 3 is negative 12. 3 and a 1 gives me x to the 4th. And then negative 4 times negative 4 is positive 16. And I still have this part out here, so it's just x to the 3rd. So negative 4x to the 5th, negative 12x to the 4th, plus 16x to the 3rd becomes my answer. I can't combine any of these because they all have different exponents, right? So they aren't like terms. So once we have our answer, we're ready to go. Okay? Now, if I'm multiplying a binomial times a binomial, we actually can use what we call the box, right? So I'm going to make a box that matches these two parts, which is going to be 2 by 2, right? So I've got x plus 5 happening here and x plus 8 happening on the top. Now you could reverse those. It doesn't matter which one goes where as long as you do it. And then you're going to multiply like we used to do when we had like our old multiplication parts, and we would drag our finger here and drag our finger down, and the answer would be inside the box. That's exactly what we're doing, only we're making our own multiplication chart per se. Okay, so if I had x to the first times x to the first, remember I'm adding, so this would be x squared. And then if I move over, x to the first times 8 would be 8x. Then x times 5 would be 5x. And then 5 times 8 would be me 40. Okay, now I have to look inside the box to be able to combine like terms. So if you look, you have x squared plus 5x plus 8x plus 40. So diagonally are always going to be the terms you have to combine. Okay, these two need to come together. So I've got x squared plus 13x plus 40. And that gives me my answer. Okay, so multiplying using the box method. If you look again, just kind of remind yourselves that this would be a quadratic trinomial because there's 1, 2, 3 terms. So thinking about how we name those in the last one as well. Okay, let's use another one. So I've got, again, a binomial times a binomial, 2 by 2. So I'm going to make a 2 by 2 box. Again, it doesn't matter which ones go on the outside. So I can have 2x plus 4 and x minus 5 here. And then we're going to multiply. So 2 times 1 is 2. X times x is x squared. Okay, because I'm adding a 1 and a 1. 4 times x is 4x. 2x times negative 5 is negative 10x. And then negative 5 times 4 is negative 20. All right, so again, I've got 2x squared plus 4x minus 10x minus 20. These two combine to give me 2x squared minus 6x minus 20. And that would be my answer because I don't have any more like terms. Okay, good. Let's go to the next one. All right, so you kind of notice here that these have the exact same two terms in the middle, but they're actually opposite signs. So I want you to think about maybe what happens when you see that. It's going to happen every single time. It's a special case. So let's check it out. X minus 3, x plus 3, x times x, again, adding is x squared. This is going to give me negative 3x. X times 3 here gives me 3x. And 3 times negative 3 is negative 9. Okay, so if I write them out, I have x squared minus 3x plus 3x minus 9. So if you see what happens, negative 3 and positive 3 are going to cancel out. Now I'm going to be left with x squared minus 9. So this will happen every single time. If you have the same exact terms, one is negative, one is positive, then the middle terms cancel out. Okay? And you are left with whatever these two are multiplied together and these two are multiplied together. That's what our answer ends up giving you. Okay? All right. So this is the part, I think this is probably one of the number one missed questions we have every single year. So 2x plus 7 squared is actually going to be written as 2x plus 7 times 2x plus 7 because they're squaring it, right? Which means there's two of them. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing. I have the box. There's also a trick to this one because it's a special one. Maybe you can figure it out before I even get there. We're going to multiply. So 2 times 2 is 4. X times x is x squared. 7 times 2x is 14x. 7 times 2x again is 14x. And 7 times 7 is 49. So if you look at what happens, we've got 4x squared plus 14x, again 14x, and then plus 49. Well, if you look at the significance with these numbers, 14 and 49, and this is a 7, okay, you'll notice that basically what we do is called square, double, square. Square, double, square means that if you look here, you have the first number has been squared. 2 squared is 4, x squared is x squared. Double means we take these two in the middle, multiply them, and double it. So 7 times 2 is 14x. We double it. There's two of them. Then square again. 7 squared is 49. So square, double, square is what you end up with your answer. 4x squared. 7 times 2x is 14x. So we double it. There's 28. And 7 squared is 49. Okay? So same thing on the next one. See if you can do it out loud, then I'll show you how to do it with the box if you don't remember. So square, double, square. Squaring this would be 9x squared. Multiplying here would give me 3xy. Double it would give me 6xy. And then square here would give me y squared. Okay, so again, if you need the box, you can do that too. So 3x plus y, 3x plus y. 3 times 3 is 9. X times x is x squared. 3x times y is 3xy. 3x times y again is 3xy. And y times y is y squared. So you get the same thing. 9x squared plus 3xy plus 3xy plus y squared. These come together. 9x squared plus 6xy plus y squared. The same answer we got above. Double or square, double, square. Okay, those are the special cases for those. Now let's jump down to a couple that look a little different. So on this one, it becomes kind of important for the box because it's an organization piece. Some people get really confused when we start multiplying this many. So this would be like a binomial times a trinomial, which means our box needs to be a 2 by 3. Okay, so 3x plus 4. And on the top, I'm going to have x squared plus 2x minus 1. And then we multiply just like we've been doing. So 3x times x squared, this is a 1 here. So I've got 3. 2 plus 1 is x to the third. The next one is 3 times 2 is 6. X times x is x squared. 3x times negative 1 is negative 3x. Bottom row, 4 times x squared is 4x squared. 4 times 2x is 8x, and 4 times negative 1 is negative 4. Okay, so let's put it all together. We have cubed to start with, so 3x cubed. 4x squared and 6x squared gives me 10x squared. 8x and negative 3x gives me positive 5x. And then my leftover here is negative 4. No like terms, so my answer is simplified. Okay, last one. Hopefully this is all doing okay with everybody. We're going to do a little bit of both now. So now I have a binomial times a binomial added to a number being distributed across a trinomial. Okay, so I'm going to start with the box on the left side. Get my answer for that first. Then do the right side and then put them together. So I have 2x minus 5, x plus 4. 2x times x is 2x squared. X times negative 5 is negative 5x. 2x times 4 is 8x. And I've got negative 20 for my last box. Okay, I'll write that out. 2x squared. 8x minus 5x is 3x minus 20. Now, plus, now I'm going to start distributing out here. 2 times x squared is 2x squared. 2 times negative 6 is negative 12x. And 2 times negative 3 is negative 6. Now let's combine. 2x squared and 2x squared gives me 4x squared. Remember, I'm adding now, so I'm just combining like terms. Positive 3x, negative 12 is negative 9x. And then negative 20 and negative 6 is negative 26. Okay? All right, multiplying using the box. Hopefully that makes a little bit of sense there. Now, the back side is where we're going to put everything together. So we've got some word problems. We're talking about finding the shaded area. Okay? So the area of the part that's actually shaded in. Now, if you look at this, you can see that it's kind of like one big rectangle, right? And then we've taken a little rectangle on the middle and kind of like cut it out and thrown it away. And we want to find what's the area of just this part that's left over. So if you think about that, in order to cut that middle out and throw it away, that would have to be subtraction. So the main thing you have to remember here is that we're going to find the big area of the entire rectangle they give us, and we're going to subtract the small area. And whatever's left over is going to be what our answer is for that shaded region part. Okay, now if you remember, area equals length times width for a square or a rectangle. All right, so length times width here, the length of the big rectangle is 12, the width is 8. So 12 times 8 would be our big, right, minus the small. So minus here. The small rectangle is x plus 1 times 2x. So length times width. Okay. Area of the big minus area of the small. So now let's solve and simplify. 12 times 8 is going to give me 96. Right? Now I'm going to have to multiply here. So negative 2x times x is going to give me negative 2x squared because I'm adding 1 and 1. Then negative 2x times 1 is going to give me negative 2x. I can't combine any like terms, so this would be my answer. If you wanted to write it in standard form, it would be negative 2x squared minus 2x plus 96. Really, I would take it either way. It doesn't bother me which way you leave it. Okay, unless it specifies on the test to tell you which one. All right, so again, area is length times width. To get the shaded region, we would have to take the big minus the small. Oops, sorry. The big minus the small. All right, so let's try another one. Big minus small. Okay, the big rectangle is 12x plus 4 times 4x minus 2 minus the small x minus 2 times x minus 2. Okay, so now it's basically like having two box methods, and then we're going to put our answers together at the end, right? So let's do the first one. We've got a box here, 12x plus 4, 4x minus 2. 12 times 4 is 48. X times x is x squared. 4x times 4 is 16x. 12x times negative 2 is negative 24x. And negative 2 times 4 is negative 8. So I have 48x squared. These two go together. So I've got negative 24 plus 16, which gives me, 8, right? Negative 8. And then this would be negative 8 on the end. Okay, now let's do the second one. Box over here. Okay, these are squared, so this is a square double square, if you can remember. But we'll do it on the box just to make sure you remember. X minus 2, x minus 2. Okay, this would be x squared. Negative 2 times x is negative 2x. Negative 2x again. And then negative 2 times negative 2 is 4. So again, square double square. Square that first term. Double the middle one, right? So negative 4x. And then positive 4. Now, I did this way with ignoring this guy, the middle sign, first, because we have to get rid of all those terms. You can't distribute this just to the first two and then multiply because it makes it a little bit more confusing. So we would need to take this now and distribute it to all three of these like we did on our very first lesson on 6-1. We took that negative 1 out here and distributed it. So this is now negative x squared, positive 4x minus 4. And out here I have 48x squared minus 8x minus 8. So now let's put them all together. We've got 48x squared minus an x squared gives me 47x squared. Negative 8x and positive 4x gives me negative 4x. And then negative 8 and negative 4 gives me negative 12. And there's my answer because I can't combine any more terms. Big area minus the small. Okay, let's finish this up. We've got a couple more here. Thanks for being patient while we figure it out. Let me smooth this so we can see the whole thing. So a smartphone has a screen that has a width of x and a height that is 1.8 times the width. The outer dimensions of the smartphone are shown. Write an expression for the portion of the phone that is not occupied by the screen. Assume that the phone is rectangular. Okay, so it doesn't make a perfect rectangle. We're going to assume that it does. Okay, so it says that in the middle of it, The screen, so just this part here that you can actually see the picture on, you guys all know what the screen is x for the width, so this is x, and the height is 1.8 times the width. Okay, well again, the width is x, so this is 1.8 times x, right? We want the part that's not the screen, so all of this little section out here, right? So how much of our area actually of our phone is not the screen? So again, big minus small, okay? Our big area. Well, the length of our big area is this part up here, 1.8x plus 3. The centimeters is just the label, so don't worry about that. Times the width, x plus 1, minus the small area, length times width. So again, x times 1.8x. Okay, so if you want to do a little box for this one, we can do that. Oops, made it kind of skinny. X plus 1, 1.8x plus 3, right? Either way, it doesn't matter which way you work it. So this is going to give me 1.8x squared times 1 here is 1.8x times 3 here is 3x, and 3 times 1 is 3. So for this side, I have 1.8x squared. 3 plus 1.8 is 4.8x, then plus 3, right? Then I'm going to multiply these two. There's just two things there, just two terms. This is a negative, so negative 1.8x squared. I'm adding 1 and 1. Okay, now we can put our terms together. So, oops, that did not click over. There we go. Okay, put them together. And we have squared first, so 1.8x squared minus 1.8x squared means those are gone. They've canceled. That leaves us 4.8x plus 3, and the label we had was centimeters. So if it's area, it's centimeters squared. Okay. All right, last one here. Hopefully this is doing okay. Might be a little confusing, but you'll get it. Big minus small. Ugh, keeps doing that. Sorry. Gotta learn to switch my arrow. Okay. Big minus small. So the picture is 10 inches by 8 inches, right? So the actual picture. The frame is a uniform width of X inches on all sides. Find the combined area of the picture and the frame. Okay, now this is telling us that it wants a combined area. Combined means we have to add something together. So this one is different, you guys. Paying attention to what it tells you is going to be really important. So this part, the actual picture, so just this blue part here, this inner rectangle, right, is 10 by 8. Okay, so the area of the inside, the small, is 10 times 8. Now, we're combining that with the frame. So plus the big, right? So this is the tricky part. If this from here to here is 10 inches, I want to know what it is from here all the way out to here, right? So now I have to add in this part and this part to go all the way across from here to here. Okay, well, if this little section is X and this little section is X, I have to add all three of these together. X plus 10 plus X to get all the way across. So X plus 10 plus X is 2X plus 10. That's the width of my entire picture with the frame all the way over. We've got the middle is 10, that's the blue part. This little section is X, and this little section is X. x plus 10 plus x. So I've got 2x plus 10. Going the other way. So I'm going to switch colors here so you can kind of see this. The other way is from here all the way down to here. Well, I already know that from here to here is 8. It tells us that, right? Now I want to know from here all the way down to here. Well, that means I need this section, which is x, and this section, which is x. So I have to add them together. X plus 8 plus x. Well, that gives me 2x plus 8. So the next part here is 2x plus 8. The length and the width of the big picture with the frame. Okay? All right, so we know that this part is 80 plus whatever I get for the box on this. So I have 2x plus 10 and 2x plus 8. Okay, 2 times 2 gives me 4x squared. Then I've got 2 times 8 is 16x. 2x times 10 is 20x. And 10 times 8 is 80. So here we go. 80 again plus 4x squared plus 16 and 20 gives me 36x plus 80 at the end. Now let's combine like terms. 4x squared plus 36x plus 80 and 80 gives me 160. And this would be inches squared. Combined area. We're adding those together. Okay? I know this was a little bit long. Good job. Let me know what you have questions.